We have more on that strange, improvised visit to North Korea by basketball wild man Dennis Rodman, sitting with the mysterious young leader. Rodman, now the only American who can bring first-hand reports of the secretive dictator. So what does the U.S. State Department do? Here's ABC's chief global correspondent.
Dennis Rodman was bigger news in North Korea than its recent nuclear test. Our dear Kim Jong-Un and his wife gushed the announcer watched the basketball match with Rodman. And it wasn't just basketball. There was a tour of a dolphin aquarium, ice rink, and last night a private dinner with Kim that apparently involved more than eating. A producer from Rodman's sponsor, Vice magazine, tweeting, "So Kim Jong-Un just got the Vice crew wasted. No, really, that happened."
I love him. I love the guy's awesome.
Awesome? Kim parties while his citizens starve, and he has repeatedly threatened the United States with destruction and has the material for enough nuclear bombs to make good on that threat. And Dennis Rodman is our only direct contact? Is Dennis Rodman the man right now who knows more about Kim Jong-Un than any American?
He is that man. There is nobody at the CIA who could tell you more personally about Kim Jong-Un than Dennis Rodman, and that in itself is scary.
And Dennis Rodman joins us right now. I guess you don't find it scary.
No, it's not scary. It's amazing, man. Wow, man. You know what? It was such a great experience. Me and my I call him my son, Elkin King. We went there, man, and it wasn't supposed to be like that. It was supposed to be like just meet the guy and just have a good time.
And it turned into such an event. And I have to ask you first, when you said you love Kim and think he's awesome, were you aware of his threats to destroy the United States?
I didn't talk about that. I understand that. I understand that. When you grow up in an environment, especially when your grandpa and your father, one thing, the kid's only 28 years old.
You called them great leaders. Do you really believe that?
No, what I saw in that country, and I saw people respect him and his family. That's what I mean about that.
Aren't
great
they
leaders
forced
there.
Huh? Aren't they forced to?
Well, I say no, because I think he's going to change something, because he says a different view. Because I sat with him for 2 days, and the one thing he asked me to give Obama something to say and do one thing. He wants Obama to do one thing, call him.
He wants a call from President Obama?
That's right. He told me that. He said, if you can, Dennis, I don't want to do war. I don't want to do war. He said that to me.
Did you say, why don't you pick up the phone and call President Obama?
No, you know, it's a different story. It's a different story, because guess what? The kid's only 28 years old. 28. He's not his dad, not his grandpa. He's 28 years old.
So you think he's different. What did he tell you about America, and what did you learn about him?
Guess what? The one thing I said to him, I said, we talked about it, if you see the clips or whatever, he loves basketball.
Now, did you get any sense from him that he was looking to change the relationship with the United States?
Well, one thing about him, one thing I noticed about him, he's very humble. He's very humble, man. As a kid, he's very humble. He's very strong as a man. He's very strong, but guess what? He don't want war. That's one thing he don't want.
He said in the past that he would destroy the United States.
Well, I just think that. I think that's coming from his father. I think as a young man, he don't want anything.
What else does he know about the United States and President Obama, from what you could tell?
Well, I can tell about him. He does one thing. He loves power. He loves control, because of his, dad and stuff like that. But he's a great guy. He's just a great guy. If you sit down and talk to him, he's a good guy to me. Guess what? He's my friend. Guess what? I don't condone what he does, but as far as a person to person, he's my friend. But as far as what he does,
but
he can deal with it.
Someone who hypothetically is a murderer, who's your friend, is still a murderer.
Well, you know what, dude? Seriously, I guess what? Guess what? What I did was history. Was history, and guess what? It's just like we do over here in America, right? It's amazing that we have presidents over here do the same thing, right? It's amazing that Bill Clinton could do one thing, have sex with his secretary, and do one thing, and really get away with it, and still be powerful. And that's amazing.
How can you compare that to prison camps?
No, prison camp do one thing. We don't need to do one thing. Object that. We don't need to object that. Guess what? We do one thing. If, like a friend to friend, right? It's a friend to friend. He's a friend to me. That's about it.
So you're going to go back?
Yes, I am. I'm going to go back and do one thing and find out more what's really going on. find out more.
But the State Department has no plans to reach out to the bad boy of basketball, stating with a straight face today,
he's never been a player in diplomacy.
Here's a man who has had dinner with one of the most threatening men in the whole world, and they don't even want to talk to him. That's ridiculous.
The State Department did say that while there are no plans to reach out to Rodman, if he wanted to call them, maybe, they wouldn't refuse the call. So perhaps we will see Rodman and Secretary of State John Kerry at a basketball game together in the near future, Diane.
Curiouser and curiouser.